Annette Unite's art pieces center on collecting site-specific materials, infusing mine waste with the social influences in Africa's resources industry. Each of her collections tell a story and is deeply connected to the role that mining has played in South Africa's history. She recently launched her first book, Terror, after spending nearly 2 decades focusing on the subject.
I've always been an artist. I mean, I imagined that I was an artist when I was 14 years old. It was one of those kind of identity things. But I got engaged to someone who ran diamond mines in the late 1990s, which meant that I spent quite a lot of time up on the West Coast mines. Mines around the world, especially around Africa, unfortunately, all have a similar kind of feel about them. They're always dusty, unpleasant, kind of, they often feel there's a lot of poverty. In the areas where there actually is mining, there's a lot of poverty, and it's called the resource curse, and also known as the Dutch curse. So wherever there's extreme wealth under the ground, there's often extreme poverty nearby.
Unite's work is a testament that one man's garbage is another's treasure. Her materials are sourced from metal oxides and pigments from mines around Africa.
I mean, I've got a whole wall full of those weird chemicals that I've collected from platinum mines and gold mines. The colour sometimes enchants me, the texture. I've got stuff from titanium mines, from copper mines, and I've included those and incorporated those into paintings, into large panel paintings, and I've made my own paint and made my own pastels out of them. So I've got these gold mine dust in pastels. It's fantastic. And they're so soft and huge, so you can actually work really, really big on these massive drawings. I mean, these are small, massive drawings.
South African history is closely tied to its mineral wealth, with mining contributing to almost 18% of GDP, making it a significant contributor to economic activity, job creation, and foreign exchange earnings. The flip side is dangerous working conditions and poverty in settlements around the mines.
I called it the paradox of plenty. So to actually sort of express this idea of just so much that there's so many images. Mining's such a big part of our lives. We're all actually end users of what mining does. Everything in our world comes from either mining or agriculture. The copper of Namaqualand electrified the Western world. Britain got their electricity because of our copper. But if you go to Namaqualand, it's the highest unemployment in the world, and it's in the country, in South Africa. And there's no university, there's no college, but there are roads to lead get the copper out.
In a recent report by the Benchmarks Foundation, an organization that monitors corporate responsibility, it was found that the living conditions for South African miners on the Platinum Belt were the worst in the country. So Unite's work has made attempts at giving back through community art projects.
I've been very fortunate because I make my own paint, and it's actually something I share with, when I travel, I've shared it with communities that I've been to. So I've actually done workshops. We made a pastel, we did a pastel workshop where we took 2,000 rands worth of material and 20 people, and we made, literally, we made 32,000 rands worth of pastels. You know how expensive art materials are. So that enables people to actually have top quality materials, even though they're living in Kenya, just near the Rift Valley. They can make their own stuff. Or if they're living in a community outside Johannesburg, they can actually make world-class artworks because you've given everybody an opportunity for 100 rand each.
With corporates such as Anglo America's Kumba Iron Ore and the Brussels office of Clifford Chance commissioning her works, it's safe to say that Annette has enjoyed relative success. Her art sparks debate and is known not only for its aesthetic value, but for the history ingrained in every stroke.